1st, 2019. Roll call, please.
All right, Commissioner Hatfield,
Here.
Commissioner Hubbard,
Here.
Commissioner Wong,
Here.
Commissioner Graw,
Here.
and President Winschittel is absent.
Okay. So has everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Any discussion about the agenda?
Just a one note of making the action item is actually a public hearing.
Yes, this is a public hearing, so
Yep.
I'll definitely remember to do that.
Motion to adopt the agenda. Do we have to do that?
Yes.
You're the first.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
You're good. You're totally cool.
Second.
Okay, so motion by Hatfield, second by Hubbard. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So has everyone had a chance to review the previous meeting minutes from the EDA from April 15th, 2019?
Motion to approve the EDA minutes for April 15, 2019.
I wasn't there, so
Sec-
I don't think I should second that.
Second.
So motion by Graw, second by Hatfield. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then we are into the discussion item. To adopting resolution for EDA 2019-4, conveying Outlot B to Ameriprise Financial.
So President Pro Tem and Commissioners, this is a time that we be quiet and we let our administrative intern come up and do his first presentation ever. So I'll turn the show over to him. We got to throw him in the deep water sometimes.
I've done one before. Just
All right.
So, Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Ryan Callister, Administrative Intern for the City of Chaska. So tonight I'm here before you to talk about a public hearing conveying Outlot B of the Oak Knoll IDS property site off of Highway 41. So kind of a little bit about the background of this. It was kind of an administrative oversight that has led us to tonight. But on June 29th, 1987, the Chaska Economic Development Authority entered into a purchase agreement with IDS Financial Corporation for the current day IDS building site, which is the location of the Oak Ridge Hotel and Convention Center. So this agreement facilitated the land to be sold from the Chaska Economic Development Authority, and it was meant to be to IDS Financial Corporation. So there are two amendments that go along with the purchase agreement. We have copies of the purchase agreement and both the amendments in the files. However, the second amendment was not signed. So that is part of the reason why we are here today doing this. But the first amendment was approved on January 28th, 1988, and the second amendment was most likely approved on August 1st, 1988. And like I said, a signed copy of the second amendment could not be located. So the first amendment allowed for the extension of the termination date from the original purchase agreement at a changed interest rate. And then there are just smaller changes that do not relate to Outlot B. The second amendment is really the key one in this whole thing, in that it contains a requirement for the purchaser to execute the redevelopment agreement as well as soon as the land was conveyed to IDS from the city, or from the Chaska Economic Development Authority. The Second Amendment also states that the tract of land that has been dedicated to the public in the plat of Oak Knoll, or Outlot B, will be vacated by the seller as soon as reasonably possible after the seller's completion of all of the seller's work on the public street is performed pursuant to the purchase agreement. So this Second Amendment essentially states that Outlot B was to be vacated with ownership transferred from the Chaska Economic Development Authority to IDS as soon as work was completed on the public street. That was the intention. However, since the Second Amendment was never signed, that kind of leads us to where we're at. The public hearing is Carver County doesn't have the deed in the name of IDS, so that's another reason why this is required public hearing. But they, Ameriprise Financial, who is now the current owner of the site, they have been paying taxes on the property for the last 20 so years. Yes. So with that, public hearing process is needed to officially convey Outlot B from the Chaska Economic Development Authority to Ameriprise Financial. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Yeah, and the thing that always triggers these is when you have a title company look at a closing, you're like, not all the Ts were crossed and the Is dotted and stuff. So Ryan got a good chance to go through our basement and see all the records downstairs. So that was a good project for him. So he probably learned about a lot more. But basically, this is sort of a house cleaning item for them to be able to go through this land transaction.
Any questions? So this is a public hearing, so I'll open up the public hearing at 7:39 PM. And does anyone from the public like to speak? Please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. Seeing as there's none, then we'll close the public hearing at 7:40 PM. Bring it back to the commission. For the EDA, sorry. So, any other discussion, or do we have a motion?
Just more curiosity. So it came to light because they're looking for a new ownership group. All intents is that the current operation that's there now will stay, just someone else owns it?
They
Potentially.
have a lot of land that's undeveloped there. And so I would fully expect that, it was always owned for IDS to be able to expand on that site. And my sense is, and we've always sort of thought this, is years ago IDS decided not to put any more investment into that site, but they own 20-some acres. It's a big parcel.
Yeah.
And so I would fully expect that anybody who's purchasing this parcel would probably look at how do you fully realize the value of that site. At the time, IDS did it because they wanted to, they brought everybody who they trained through IDS to that place to do their corporate training. And when they went there, they sort of wanted them to feel like they were off in the woods. They wanted people to be sort of on that site in the moment, doing their training and stuff. But there's a big value to owning enough property that you feel like you're in the woods. So we don't have any definite plans. Nothing's been submitted fully for a planning application, but I would expect that you'd see somebody reinvest back into that property.
So along those lines, just out of curiosity, was there a concept plan that was submitted at the time that they did the development that extended beyond the current?
Yeah, but it was more in lines with if you expanded Oak Ridge.
Okay.
I don't think that's what you'd probably see there.
So we think it might be something different then?
It could be something entirely different, in which case they'd have to come back through the whole process of concept plan, preliminary, final. So it's something you guys would get to see all the way through the process to make sure that it's consistent with the comp plan and all that. But yeah, at the time, anything they would have done would have been more related to how do you expand Oak Ridge. And that's not to say that won't happen, but it's just such a large parcel. I don't see how it would be just Oak Ridge that would work with it.
Good question.
Motion to adopt resolution number EDA 2019-04.
Second.
Okay, motion by Hatfield, second by Graw. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Any other business? Go around the horn real quick. So start with Nate.
I don't have anything.
Nope.
No.
Okay, and don't have anything else, so do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Hatfield,
I was
second.
here.
Motion by Hatfield, second.